Hey everybody, today I am here with Roz Baker. She's currently our state senator representing South and West Maui, and she's running this year for re-election. We're gonna walk story. Thanks for joining us today, Roz.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what are your ties to Maui? Why are you involved in politics?
I guess I was always opinionated as a kid. I was on the debate team. I grew up in Texas, went to Washington, D.C. and worked for the National Education Association as one of their government relations specialists, helping them get started with their political action. But I think, and I've been on Maui for 40 years, and what I really like about Maui is it's a real community. People can come together. We might be on different sides of the issue, but we can come together to solve problems and make a difference. And that's really why I'm in the legislature, because a lot of the problems end up being something that needs a tweak in the state law. We need some resources to fund a program on Maui, help our kids, look after the environment, work with the schools. So that's really why I'm in the legislature, why I run for office.
How long have you been in the legislature?
I was first elected in 1988.
Yeah.
I served for 10 years. I was term limited by the voters, went to work for Mayor Kimo Opana as his coordinator of economic development, and returned to the Senate in 2002 to represent South and West Maui.
So you've been involved in representing Maui for a long time.
I have 26 years.
What have you learned in that time about our community and about how the legislature works?
I've learned that Hawaii is a very relationship-based place. The legislature too, you have to work with your colleagues. No one person can get anything done by themselves. So I have a great Maui team, Senators Gilkeith Agaran and Kalani English, as well as the representatives that make up the Maui delegation, and we all work together. This last year, we knew that there were issues with some of the liquor commission laws that were making it difficult for nonprofits to get their one-day permit so that they could raise money for their fundraisers. So as a team, we all worked together, put the bills in, they passed, and hopefully that will make a difference for a lot of our nonprofits who, when they have their fundraisers, may give liquor away or they sell it, and they get, that adds to what they can return to the community and the programs that they do.
Thinking maybe more specifically in the last session, but also in the past few years, what are some accomplishments that you're proud of, things that you've worked on that you really would point to as examples of
Well,
your work?
I'm so excited that we were able to get the last $40 million in for construction for Kihei High School. Good Brothers has the first contract, and they should be on the site soon to start the ground movement and be ready to construct. So that's been such a long time coming.
Right.
I was so excited that we were able to get that in the budget. For Lahaina, the $40 million for the bypass going north. The bypass had a little bit of a shaky start, but everybody loves it now. It gets you in and out of Lahaina much easier. So those are two kind of capital improvement things. Others have been some of our women's package stuff. This year, we were able to put the key features of the Affordable Care Act in our state statute. The governor signed the measure. It makes sure that kids up to age 26 can stay on their parents' plan. You can't charge women more just because of their gender for services that they may need. And also that health plans can't discriminate for a pre-existing illness. I'm a cancer survivor. So theoretically, I have a pre-existing illness, even though I've been cured of that particular cancer. But without these measures in our state statute, theoretically, insurance companies could charge me more because I have a pre-existing illness. Somebody with diabetes that is going into the plan, same kind of situation. So it was really important that we get these pieces of legislation passed. And the other thing that we tackled this past session was our homelessness and lack of housing. Governor came to Lahaina to sign a bill that I had introduced to help a pathway to keep Front Street apartments affordable. They had a new owner. They were going to raise the rates to market, and it was going to kick a bunch of the tenants out. So we passed a measure that will allow us, working with the county and the Hawaii Housing Finance Development Corporation, to actually purchase that property and keep it in affordability. That same bill that Governor signed had $30 million in it for our 200 units, affordable rental units off of Kiawe Street. We call them the Kiawe Apartments now. That is part of the Leali'i project. So, you know, tackling healthcare issues, access to healthcare, women's issues, housing, as well as the homeless problem,
Right.
helping our nonprofits with some of the resources that they need to continue to do the good work they do in our community have been just some of the highlights that I'm really excited about as a result of this last session.
So in your district, in Kihei, right, Monsanto has a few operations. As you know, their operations have been pretty controversial in the past few years. Recently, they passed the chlorpyrifos ban.
Right,
That'll take
we did
effect
pass that.
in a few years. Where do you stand on other additions that people would like to have, like notification, larger buffer zones, things like
Well,
that?
the other bill that we passed that's very important, that was part of the bill that had the chlorpyrifos ban in it, had to do with buffer zones around schools, no spray zones around schools, so that we don't have those kinds of conflicts. And it does notify all restricted use pesticides, the agriculture, they have to report on a regular basis, and those are going to be made public. I think probably aggregated by county, but most people know where the issues are. And so as long as those buffer zones are in place, our state workers know that they're part of that when they're spraying along the highway. I think we've come up with a good first step to try to take care of some of the concerns that we've been hearing. But you know, that's part of the legislative process. I remember when we passed reciprocal beneficiaries, it was another 10 years before we passed same-sex marriage. So you have to sort of build that community consensus. You have to work with everybody, and you want to make sure that we continue the economic benefits of companies that we have there, but make sure that they're not being of a problem to our citizens. And I know there were people that had concerns, and so I'm so pleased that we were able to put those pieces in place this year.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today, Roz.
Thank you.
It was great talking with you. Remember to vote in the primary, August 11th, and the general election, November 6th.
Absolutely. Follow.